We are here with Glen Carley, Studio 162, Wouldn't It Be Nice?
Hello,
Glen,
everyone.
Glen, thanks for taking the time to share with us today.
You're very welcome.
Glen, tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I was born into a maker family. My father was a tool and die maker and worked extensively in metal and high technology things at Bell Laboratories, but at home he always had a wood shop. And as soon as I was old enough to push a broom around the shop, that's what he had me doing. So I started learning woodworking at a very young age. And I enjoyed it and stuck with it. And over the years, I've come to really enjoy and appreciate it. And my plan is for this to be my retirement job.
Good plan. I like that. How did you come up with, when you decided to build a wood shop, how did you come up with your dimensions and how you wanted to set everything? Looks like you've got a lot of really expensive tooling, and so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've got quite a bit packed into this room. I actually have half of another room down the hall where I have mostly wood storage. I've got some tools over there as well, and I try and do finishing over there because we kept all of the dusty machines over in this area. So we do the production building and sanding here, and then the finishing over in the other room. I had to work with the space that was available. I started off up on the second floor in a room about half this size. And then as I started acquiring some tools, it was obvious I needed to get a larger room. This one became available. I added that, moved from there to here, and then I picked up the other room once I started collecting my own trees and getting them sawed into slabs. That takes up a lot of room. So I got half of another room that I share with Tom Saccia, the sculptor here at the Essex.
And what do you use that room for mainly?
Primarily storage, and then finishing things where you keep the dust over here and do the finishing over there.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So this is more like the tool room.
This is the build it room.
So just give us a little rundown about just kind of point around the room. What kind of tooling do you have, and what?
I've got all this usual. I've got a bandsaw. I got this great saw stop table saw that'll cut through a hunk of oak like butter, and it won't cut your finger off.
Good.
It's got some high technology built into it that would prevent this device from cutting your finger off. That technology doesn't exist on every tool. Pop quiz: what's the most dangerous tool in the shop?
Probably the table saw.
The one you have in your hand. That's the one that's most likely to hurt you. So it requires a lot of attention and focus no matter what you're doing, whether you're using a power tool or a hand tool. You really need to stay focused and keep your attention on the task at hand to keep all 10.
Right. Well, one of the reasons I asked about layout of the shop is I know in a wood shop it's important to have things kind of strategically placed so you can move from one process to the next process.
Yeah. So I have my joiner right next to my table saw because after you rip something down, you got to put a straight edge on it. So you go right from this machine right to that machine. If I was ripping on the bandsaw over there, it's over there because that was about the best spot for it. I've got the planer and the sander on the other side of the table here. Feeding wood into I use this work table kind of as a work table and also as outfeed for, the tools as well.
And then you have a dust collection unit.
I got it, dust collector to try and suck dust up. This box on the bench here is an air filter.
Airborne dust.
Yeah, that's normally running all the time, sucking dust out of the air, and as you can see from the filter, it's a little fuzzy right now, so it's time to go clean that one.
That shows you've been working.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with your style as far as the work that you produce? I know you do custom tables, you do wood turning. Tell us a little bit about that. What's your favorite?
When I started the shop here, I was really interested in wood turning. I had been to a demonstration up at Woodcraft, and interestingly enough, while, like I said, my father was a tool and die maker, he used a metal lathe all the time. We never had a wood lathe at home, so I never learned how to use that tool. I went to a demonstration and I watched a guy take, a piece of firewood like this and turned it into a work of art in a matter of about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, because he was explaining what he was doing as he went along. And that just inspired me to learn how to do it. So I went and bought myself a lathe and taught myself how to do that. And I thought I was going to set up making bowls and selling bowls. Well, turns out not too many people were interested in buying bowls. I got my first big furniture job from a restaurant. They needed 35 tables over in Hyde Park. And I actually had to rent another room to use as just a production room to get that volume of work done in a reasonably short period of time. So I don't really have a particular style. What I say to my clients is, if you can sketch it, I can build it. If you can't sketch it, I can probably help you out with that too. So I do, we do some preliminary work on paper just to get agreement on, rough dimensions, what style they want in their house. And once that's all nailed down on paper, then we start the build process. Now, I may knock together a quick prototype. This is a prototype of a project I'm working on right now. They had some flowering cherry trees in their yard, and a bunch of kids. The kids were all grown. The trees came to the end of their life and needed to come down, and they wanted something to remember the tree by, or those 3 trees. So we got the wood milled, got it processed through a kiln, and now I'm in the process of making 6 of these little tables for that
very cool.
family.
Yeah, it looks good.
And
this
a prototype like this, it just helps visualize, more than a drawing, what the end result's going to be.
So Glenn, how long have you been with the Essex?
I first came to the Essex in 2011. I had a neighbor, Ray Abrams, who was a resident artist here, who said, hey, you ought to come check out the Essex. And I came over and checked it out, and it's like, yeah, this is a really cool place. It's a very collaborative environment, and I really appreciate that. There's so many artists here that I've learned from, just because I get stuck on a problem and I see them in the hallway, and it's like, hey, did you ever run into this problem?
And we've swapped tools before.
Yeah. I mean, everybody is everybody is happy to help in any way that they can, and I've reciprocated with them on a number of occasions as well. So, it's just a very collaborative environment here. Yeah.
So you kind of answered my next question, which was, what are the advantages of the Essex? But what would you say to aspiring artists or carpenters that might be just starting out, no idea what tools to get? What would you say to aspiring?
Interesting. I recently began teaching an intro to woodworking class at the Art Academy of Cincinnati. And, I'm getting students that are just learning which end of a saw to hold on to. And my advice to them is just start doing something, right? And we talk about safety. I'm there guiding them along the way, and I kind of have a plan that I'm refining. This is I'm just starting my 2nd session now, so I'm learning how to teach in the process. But the first session worked pretty well. Actually, one of my students left on vacation, and she left her project here. That's this piece over here.
Oh, very nice.
Now, that was built by a person who had never built anything in wood before. So over the course of the first session, she developed enough skills to, do the mortise and tenon joints to put the frame together, get everything fitted and finished, and I think it turned out wonderful.
So kind of research. Is that kind of the key?
Yes,
Like
there
find
is
out,
a
research
tremendous,
the tools, research
yeah.
the materials, research the process,
Yeah.
and ask for help. Reach out.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
The other nice thing about woodworking is, you know, there's new technology, but it really hasn't changed since Roman times, right? They had
Right.
saws and planes and hammers and nails and drills, and all the tools that we use today have been used for thousands of years. So
Yeah.
it's a tried and true process, and it's just a ton of fun to explore.
Well, Glenn, if somebody was interested in getting a hold of you, how would they contact?
I have a Facebook page, and I believe the link will be on the video here. So just
Do you have a website?
I'm working on that.
Okay.
It's
so
a work.
We'll work with Facebook first.
Yeah. Stick with Facebook for now. Hopefully, a website soon.
Okay.
And I do have on the Essex portal. I do have a thing on the Essex portal.
Yeah.
And I think that links to my Facebook page.
Hey, Glenn, thanks for taking the time to share with us a little bit today. I know you have a lot more to share, so thanks for doing this today and being part of the Essex. We really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.